Hey guys, welcome back to Zakari Hikari. My name is Zach, and as you know, here we talk about everything related to conscious creation, manifestation, um, all that good stuff. So, guys, thank you so much. I honestly am just at a loss for words. And that's usually how this manifestation stuff works. You know that something's going to happen, but when it happens, um, your 3D self is still surprised. You revel in it, you enjoy it. Um, but I started this account like 9 days ago, and we're already at over 1,000 people, I think. So, uh, insane, absolutely insane. I posted like 5 videos, and I knew it was going to be successful. And then I linked up with my next point, Eric, from The Power of I Am. Please, if you guys are not subscribed to his channel, go check it out. He is amazing. We are pretty much the same person at this point. So, no, I'm just kidding. That's Eric's thing, but the bald head and the sunglasses. But if you have been paying attention, you'll see other manifestation coaches have, particularly one in particular, has decided to wear the same brand T-shirt and go for the bald head and sunglasses look. But we are not here to judge because we are all one, and it is perfect. So shout out to Eric. And a lot of you guys have been asking about coaching already. And I have good news. So my number card, the Japan, like it's the resident, it's one of the forms you need to access and get access to PayPal and overseas payments. I received it today. I actually went and picked it up from City Hall. So PayPal is currently in review for processing, and coaching will be opening up soon. But I want to remind you guys, I do have a full-time job. Like I'm still an executive agent, and even though it is quite easy when you're manifesting, and it's not, oh, my boss is not watching this, but it's not as hard when you just relax and you know that it's going to come to you, and deals kind of tend to just pop up. But my slots are going to be somewhat limited. I'm in JST in the Japan time zone. But I will be making it work. I'll get some of you guys in there, and as it expands, eventually I do want to make the segue and do this full time, which brings me to my next point. I've seen a lot of comments in the comments, and I see you guys. I've been responding to pretty much all of them. I don't know how much longer I can do that, because I'll be like in a meeting and I see these comments. I just start like writing like, "You are the only reality." But basically, I understand you guys. You do not need me. You do not need a coach. You truly do not. But what I can say is, I saw a comment saying like, you just are I am. You don't have to, you don't master anything. You don't awaken to anything, blah, blah, blah. And someone else said it's a process of remembering, remembering, then forgetting, and remembering and forgetting. Yes, it is. But I mean, do you wake up? Are you just like born one day and you're like, I am God. I am the only reality. Like, dude, no. Like it's okay. That's why people have studied this. It's so they can pass on the word. That's how we stay in a positive state. You figure this out and you teach it to others and you share the good word. And every coach, there is room for everybody. Everybody. There's no competition in your world. There's just not. There's enough room for every coach. And every coach is teaching from their own level of consciousness. And what I have found through my journey, being on this for like 6 years, for very focused, well, almost 5 very focused years now, so I guess 7 years total, is you start off with different coaches, and then those coaches will start to teach it, and then they level up, right? And then they might fall back down, and then they might try to sell you sleep tapes all day. And not really, they just don't fully get the bigger picture when they almost got it. And then what happens is, and I discussed this with my dancer friend who has blown up recently, when you start doing something for the sake of the money and not for the love of it, oftentimes you fall into the fear, or you fall into ways that you can still be profitable off of it. And I'm not knocking any coaches. I'm not knocking courses. But what I am saying is, I think what happens is, as your level of understanding of who you are, as you start to awaken, and your conscious understanding as who you are in 3D reality starts to awaken, you start to be drawn to people who are teaching from a higher level perspective. Okay. And that's okay. Like it's not bad. I see a lot of coaches now are starting to shift to the God state, right? But there's a lot of things that I'm trying to break apart all limitations and really raise you guys up there and always be operating from your I am. That's one comment I just wanted to kind of bring back to. There's enough room for everybody. Coaches, the dancer friend. Sorry. So the dancer, sorry. The whole point is the money as well. But dancers, they don't just start dancing. And my other creative friend as well, they get into a flow state and source, the universe, God, consciousness, the all, whatever you want to call it, it flows through them. But to get to that state, to be able to do it so effortlessly and be channeling whatever they're channeling, that any artist who is a master at their craft can contest to this. You have to still to study the movements. Like, you still have to understand and get to a point where it can flow through you. That is how everything is. There's no original thought. Creation is finished, right? Everyone, the masters, inspired works, it's people channeling something, the all. They're just channeling consciousness. Okay, so I wanted to touch on that. Another point that I noticed as well was a comment related to the hero state. Isn't the hero state still basing, on your past limitations and your past situations? Like, technically, I guess, but even then, yes, the hero state is still not your I am. Your I am state is the ultimate state. What I'm trying to tell you guys is, there's different ways as different people that we process this and we come to understanding, and all our minds work differently. So you're something that's going to resonate with you and you're going to be like, oh, that makes sense. There's going to be different angles, different ways to teach it, different ways to understand it, and different ways to see it. It's all the same truth. I'm trying to help people really unpack it. And on my channel, I'm aware there's people who are coming from my Instagram account and probably thinking I'm fucking nuts. Like, they don't, because they're so new to the process, they're not seeing it. But I've studied this for so long, and I like to think that I've had a pretty interesting life. I mean, I used to be 300 pounds, 140 kilo, and I completely changed my life. I got hit by an 18-wheeler when I was 19 and spent 2.5 weeks in a coma. Had a out-of-body experience where I was looking down on my body and met consciousness. Came back to my body and then decided I was going to be completely different, and manifested my dream life of coming to Japan, going back to America, coming back to Japan, been here 11 years, bought a house, got permanent residency, got the exact job that I wanted, everything. And all of it, looking back, I can put the pieces together as how did those things transpire? What was I assuming in the moment? And that's a story that no one else can tell, right? I want to be able to share those stories with you. If you're interested, I actually don't know. I mean, do you guys want to hear about like my 18-wheeler accident and everything that I've manifested? I want to make this more about you guys and how to do it. I want to break this down, but the way that I can explain it and the way that I comprehend it is from my perspective, right? And something that I found to be really helpful is being in Japan for 11 years. I've been able to really observe the shift in the mass consciousness back home in America and other countries, who it just seems like there's been, and this is, again, it's my reality, so whatever, but it just seems like there's been this shift. And it's interesting because when you're removed from it, you can look at it more objectively if you don't allow yourself to get sucked into it, right? And I've been, and because of that, looking at it from a manifestation perspective, a consciousness perspective, it just makes it even more clear. And no one else has had that experience but me. So I want to share these things with you. But let me know what you want to hear about in the comments, because I'm going to be talking about, just listen, it's going to be, I mean, honestly, like, just be who you want to be. Like, decide who you are, be it. Every time your focus moves away from it, move back to it. Done. YouTube channel over. Like, you guys don't need me. But again, I know that it's easy to say it is one thing, but everyone wakes up on this journey. They remember, they start to remember, they see certain things at different times. And then when they're ready, the teacher appears. That's my honest belief. I will tell you that artist friend that I have who is blowing up on Instagram and sold his thing to the museum. Not the museum, the art collector who sold it in an exhibit. When I had my first or second like awakening moment where I fully stepped in and remembered, before I forgot again and had to remember again. I remember we were friends for like 2 years, and I went to his house in Odawada. And I'll tell this whole story. If you guys want to hear the story of my first awakening, let me know in the comments. I'm not going to go into it too much here. But, I showed up at his door and I started just saying, nothing's real. Like, everything is you. You are the only reality. And he literally, I've known this guy for 2 years. He goes, you finally get it. I was waiting for you to get it. I knew that you were on this. I could see you on this path, and you finally awakened. Now, he has a different way of looking at things from his perspective because he learned in a different way, right? And we're all always evolving. We're all always getting it at higher and higher levels. And I think the more people who get it, the more other people get it. And then that's how the whole world becomes happy and peaceful, is that everyone becomes free because they realize that they are the sole creator, the sole thinker, the entire operant power of their reality. Okay? So moving forwards, yeah, in the comments, let me know what you guys want to hear about. Do you want to hear about my past experiences? I'm also going to be talking about SPs. I'm going to be talking about money. But it's all the same shit. Like, just decide who you are and be it. That's it. So I think I talked about the hero state. Yeah, I did talk about the hero state. Oh, going back to the hero state comment. Sorry. So the hero state comment, my whole thing with the hero state is, sorry, I don't, people tell me I have ADHD, but I'm assuming not to believe it. The hero state is obviously a state, right? It's a limited state. It's just my way of thinking about it. But the heroes are not looking at their past. Like, the villains are the ones who are always angry and rehashing and rethinking about their limited circumstances. The heroes, technically, yeah, your past, if you're basing any part of your power on a 3D limited experience that you had in the 3D reality, thoughts, feelings, emotions, events, all of it is a 3D circumstance. In 3D circumstances, anything that is not real and is always changing, you cannot build a foundation on it. Eric said in his video today, I was in my kitchen today. This is how connected me and Eric are. I was in my kitchen today, literally like practicing this in the kitchen. I was talking about how you can't build something on something that's not real and build like a solid foundation. And I looked at Eric's video right after. I was like, he literally just said what I was going to say. But the point is, you cannot base, if you're basing it on your past, if you're basing it on a frame of something that is not real, it's already past, it's not real, it's always right now, then your power is going to be shaken. You are going to fall down again. You are going to forget again. And then that's okay, because you can just go back up and you'll remember again. But my point is, I want you to be basing this on your full awakened state of realizing what the I am is. And the reason I want to unpack this with my experiences, because the hero's not doing that. Luffy's not sitting there and thinking, oh, Shanks lost his arm, so like he had the experience, he turned it into something positive, and then he moved on, right? Like I can't think of many heroes, and if they are, it's not an inspired work. Other heroes, like the Power Rangers, were fucking, excuse my language, I'm gonna have to edit, fix that eventually. But the Power Rangers were not, I love the Power Rangers, but the Power Rangers were not like these angsty teenagers with attitude for, like, I'm talking about the 90s show, not the 2017 movie. They were like literally angsty kids for all of 5 minutes, and then, like, did you ever really hear about their past ever? No. Like, they didn't, like, it was fine. Like, that's my point. You do not take your power from a limited 3D circumstances. You take the power from the unchanging reality of who you already are. It's not a process of merging with it. It's not a process of attaining and falling out you're just remembering who you are. And when you do that, everything flows to you. And I am testament to this, guys. I manifested this house. I manifested a lot of billing in Japan. I was top biller in Asia at my first company. Like, as a new graduate, I manifested being top biller last year, one of the top billers at my current company during, like, all these people's talking about the economic crisis. Like, and I didn't really do anything except for focus myself on having what I had. That's it. You just be it. It's not even the law of assumption. Yeah, you're assuming it, but you're assuming it because you are being it. Like, that's it. And people talk about thought reflection. Really, it's not reflecting. It just is you. But thought reflection is a way to think about it. I want to uncover and unpack all this because I want to take apart all these teachings and all these the confusion that people have poured into this and made it more confusing, and I want to make it in the easiest way to understand. And I think that the only way I can do that is by sharing how I understood it and how it worked for me, And then I want to, when coaching is getting its flow, I want to be using coaching examples of people as well. And I want everyone to level up together. And if other teachers start leveling up with me, great. That means more people are going to be reached and more people are going to keep elevating up. I see a lot of coaches who are like so afraid to talk about what coaches they learn from, or like they don't mention or like shout out other coaches. Like, why? Like, we're all in this together. Like Eric, I talked to Eric and we connected, and Eric's like, your video should have more views. I'm going to, refer you immediately. And I'm not ashamed to say that I'm the Zach from Tom, who Tom made a bunch of videos about me. He was my coach for like 2 years. And it took for Tom to literally tell me, he said, you mastered this. You should be teaching this. And I still took 2 years because I fell asleep again. And then finally I remembered, like, that's how this works. So I'll shut out any coach I learned from before, but a lot of it is I took the coach's teachings and I funneled it into me, and I want to elevate it beyond because I'm seeing it at a higher level, much like Tom teaches, much like Eric teaches, okay? So that's everything out of the way. So I wanted to end this. We're already at 16 minutes, but I wanted to give you guys just one example, okay, of what I mean when you shift your focus and you're giving meaning to negative circumstances, okay? This is not SP related. This is not related to money. This is what I'm talking about when I say that your I am is like a superpower. You are literally invincible when you have your I am. Like you nothing can hurt you. You will literally be put in a situation of safety if you're in the assumption I am always safe. Nothing bad ever happens to me. So I've had this twice in my life. I was hit by an 18-wheeler. Again, comment below if you want to hear about it. But I was hit by an 18-wheeler. They didn't know if I was going to live or die. But long story short, I survived it. It was a miracle recovery. I talked to the surgeon after, and he was just like, "You're fine." Like, what? But I survived. Not only did I survive, I'm not paralyzed. I'm so grateful. I have perfect health. But my point is, when you awaken to this and you fully understand this, right, and you fully get it, nothing can touch you. So I had that assumption, right? I had the assumption that I'm always protected. Lightning doesn't strike twice. So I already got hit by an 18-wheeler. What else could hurt me? And back in 2000, when I first came to Japan the first time, that's another story, but I came here first in 2000, well, really first in 2007, but I lived here first in 2010 for a few months, and a string of circumstances led me to leave Japan on December 8th of 2010. What happened on March 11th of 2011? The Great Japanese Earthquake. And it was devastating, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible experience, but because I had the assumption that nothing ever touches me, I was not in Japan. And had I been in Japan for that, I don't think I'd be here now, and I don't think my journey would have continued, because Japan has been such a large influence on my own journey and my own awakening and my experiences I've had here. A lot of it with this country, with being abroad, with following my dreams, is what allowed me to understand this at a higher level. So I'm going to start with 2 quotes from Neville, and then I'm going to talk about what happened to me recently. So the first one: blame no one in this world, not even yourself, for anything that befalls you. Just change your diet. The diet is simply words all within you. Okay? This is about taking responsibility. Obviously, the quote speaks for itself, but even when you change the diet and the assumption of who you are, I am always protected, you will see this happening. I'm going to explain this in a minute. And then the next one is, we must practice separating ourselves from our negative moods and thoughts in the midst of all the troubles and disasters of life. No one can be different from what he is now unless he begins to separate himself from his present reactions and to identify himself with his aim. Detachment from negative states and assumptions of the wish fulfilled must be practiced in the midst of all the blessings and cursings of life. Okay? So I'm looking for Ron. I was going to bring my cat up again, guest star. But you guys know what happened to my cat. If you didn't go, I forget which video it's in. It's in a video somewhere. But basically, my cat got very sick, was on death's door, and I manifested him literally being healed overnight, or healing overnight. And now, because of his the healable condition, I take him to the vet every day. We have 2 more weeks left to go. For 2 months, he needs a shot every day. So every day I bring him to the vet. And every day on the way home from the vet, usually, I stop at I found a new grocery store on a different way home. The My Basket supermarket in Japan, usually called Aeon Supermarket. The My Basket supermarket is owned by Aeon. Sorry, but I used to go to a different one. I found this one. Point of story is, I go to this one every day. Okay, and I usually buy canned coffee for the next day, and I get what I want for dinner that night, and I cook it. And I go home. But usually it's on my way home, and I'm usually in kind of a rush because Ron was on my back in his little pod, and I don't want him to overheat, and so I'm just like kind of rushing home. So keep that in mind. So the other day, I think this was Sunday, I had just recorded my first couple videos, and I just posted them. I think I had like 10 subscribers. And I forgot to buy coffee at the grocery store that day. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go to Family Mart, which is a convenience store. We call it Konbini in Japan. I'm going to go to Family Mart and I'll get a coffee, okay? So I'm kind of noticing, and I noticed early in the day, like my brake on my front tire was like, my tire was kind of stuck in the, like it was just weird. And I was like, all right, well, I'll get that checked eventually, maybe next week. So I'm riding my bike and I'm on my way on this back road. I don't usually go to this Family Mart, and it's very rare for me now to go to this Family Mart for coffee because I'm in such a habit of going to the other one, or the other grocery store. So I'm on my way home, and I'm really elevated with my I am at this point because I'm always reminding myself I'm always awakened in that state now, and it's amazing. And my assumption is I am always protected. I'm always divinely protected. Nothing. I just am. And so I'm riding my bike, and I see a cat on the side of the road. Now I wasn't sure if like it was awake, and he looked like he was kind of like laying there chill. Like I know cats. I've been raised with cats my whole life, but he looked like he wasn't in pain. But I went by him. I was like, oh, he's fine. He's just taking a nap, like on the side of the road, right? But something in my head was like, turn around. So I go to turn around and make a U-turn just to check on the cat, and literally my tire falls into my frame and gets jammed between. So my bike does not push, and I'm like, and in that exact moment, this is where I'm saying give positive meaning to circumstances. Well, first of all, I took a breath and I escorted the cat, made sure the cat got away. He was fine. I carry my bike over to Family Mart, and I go to their parking lot, and I flip over my bike, and I'm like trying to get the tire into the frame correctly, and the tire just completely comes out of the frame. And I just start laughing, and I gave it the meaning, and I said, you know what, this is going to lead to something perfect. It's going to lead to either me strengthening my understanding of this law. It's going to, when I look back on the Bridge of Incidents, it's going to either show me that this law is, just a reminder that the law is real, or it's going to lead to something positive. I had that assumption, right? So I start wheeling the bike back with one hand, like the back tire, and I'm carrying the tire in the other hand. And I come home, and my neighbor's coming out of his door. Now, in Japan, I bought a house. It's not a condo. I bought like an actual house. And I don't believe in luck, but I'm just very grateful that I was able to manifest the most amazing neighbors. I was actually going to bring up a card that the kids had. You know what? I'm going to go grab it, and I'm going to come right back and edit that in. Hold on. So I'm so close with my neighbors next door, and that's really rare in Japan. Usually, not Japan, in Tokyo. Tokyo, people tend to keep a little bit more to themselves. They're not as, the neighbors, I mean, it's like, hi, how are you? But I'm just so close with these neighbors. Like the dad, I'm 35, the dad's 39, the wife is, I think, also 34, 35, and the kids, it's a boy and a girl. The boy is 3, and the girl's 5, and they just love me. Like, I'm so blessed. One day, the dad messaged me and was like, I'm just so happy that you are our neighbor. But it's just rare, right? Like, especially for a foreigner. They don't speak any English. Well, the daughter's actually getting quite good at English. She goes to Eikaiwa. But I'm very close. Like, for my birthday, Rama's birthday is a couple days before me. They literally, like, drew me this and brought it. I'll be walking down the street, and the little boy will be like, Zakari! And we go out drinking together. We hang out together. It's great. So I was coming in. The dad was leaving. And I'm carrying my bike, and he just starts laughing. He's like, Zakari, dostono? Dostono? And I just start laughing. He's like, what's wrong with your bike? What's wrong? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know, man. My tire just, it just came off. Yeah. So we start laughing, but he's like, well, I'll show you a bike shop later. I was like, well, I have a bike shop on my way to the vet. It's like literally on the way. Is that the same one? He's like, oh yeah, that's the one. I was like, okay, cool. So the next day, I wake up, and I go to, it's like 98 degrees out in Tokyo, which sounds, I know it's hotter in California, but the humidity here is insane. And it was a 17-minute walk to the bike store, according to Google. So I'm carrying the bike, and I'm carrying the tire, and I'm just like on my way to the bike shop, and I go to the bike shop, and the guy literally looks at my bike, and it was like in 2 seconds he's like, well, you're missing the, I don't know the name in English, but you're like missing the bar, like the connector piece that goes between the tire to keep the tire to the frame of the bike. I was like, well, that doesn't sound like, does that come out on its own? Because that doesn't sound like something that would just like fall out. And he's like, and he didn't want to, in Japan, like they don't, they don't want to accuse people. So he's not going to say, yeah, someone took your thing out and tried to kill you. But he's just like, yeah, ちょっと, 考えにくいね. And I was like, cool. So my mind immediately went to, oh my God, my neighbors hate me. And not these neighbors. I know these neighbors love me, but I'm just thinking like maybe the other neighbors, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe they got mad at me because I took my trash out. And my mind just started going there. And because in Japan, you have like a nameplate on your house, and most people's are obviously in either Japanese or just a Japanese name. Mine is not in Japanese. So, who's the foreigner? So immediately my mind starts going to like, oh my God, like, were they trying, do they not like me because I'm not Japanese? Was it this? Was it that? And then I just took a breath and literally, I even texted my neighbor and I was like, should I get a security camera? He's like, yeah, you should get a security camera. And I just took a breath and I was like, no. My neighbors love me. My life loves me. Everyone loves me. This is all leading to the same thing, and it's leading to something positive. And it's just, again, it's going to just remind me of my I am or something better. Everything's perfect. This is just something. And this is me in the moment giving meaning to circumstances. And I cannot even explain to you how fast this shifted. So I got on my bike. He put the new bolt in it. It was like sen nanhyaku yen or ni sen nanhyaku yen. I can't remember, like $27. So it's 1 for 1. It's not. And I am riding my bike. I go back to the grocery store because I was on my way home and I didn't have ramen with me. So I thought, okay, I'll get food now so he's not hot later. And I look down like before I pull into the grocery store, and I'm looking at the new bolt he put on, but there's no I forget which nut. There's no nut on it. Like there's nothing holding it in, but it has like a screw like thing. So I was like, that's kind of like weird that he didn't put a bolt on it. I'm wondering, like, does a bolt go there? And I pull in, I kid you not, literally like 5 seconds later, I pull into the parking lot at the supermarket. I look down and my bolt is right there. And I put it on my bike, and I don't even buy food. Or maybe I did. I think I did get the food and the coffee. And I put it on my bike, and I go back to the bike shop, and I'm like, is this the bolt, like, to my bike? He's like, oh yeah, that's the one. Where'd you find it? So someone did try to kill me. Just at the supermarket. So I just felt all this love for my neighbors. And because I'm in the assumption that I am always taken care of, I'm always protected, I literally saw the cat on the side of the road. Something told me to turn for it, and the tire fell off. I talked to my colleague later, and he said, Zach, and he rides bicycles like he's like a like hardcore. He goes on really long bike rides, and he like pro bike rides, like the whole suit and everything. And he was like, Zach, thank God that you found out like then, because if that had happened when you were on a main road, like that would have been a very different story. That could have been disastrous. And then I was like, aha. Of course, because I am aligned with I am, and I am must show me that I am I am. Your I am is invincible. I promise you. I know that sounds like a really crazy, outlandish thing to say, but when you have seen so much evidence of it in your own life over and over and over and over again, when you have that assumption, I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. It just, you build the faith in it. You realize that is invincible. You are invincible. Superheroes are invincible to me. Like in my mind, they are invincible. That's what I meant by the whole hero state, right? So when something bad happens, I chose in that moment to give it a positive meaning. And I was able to do that because I wasn't so attached to it. I didn't really care. Like, I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. Like, I didn't have all this quote unquote resistance, which I'm going to unpack in other videos what that even really means. But I wasn't like so, fighting my mind on it because I didn't really care. And because I didn't care, I could just give it a new meaning, and literally the whole thing unfolded in like 5 seconds. Okay? So guys, thank you. Again, I'm so grateful for all of you. The comments are just like so overwhelmed. So grateful, so happy you guys are here, so happy you guys are a part of the team, or a part of the crew if you're thinking of One Piece. I even put up my One Piece poster that I bought last year. And I had been thinking, where am I going to put this in my room? I think that I don't know if you can really see it. Maybe I'll get some lights over there. I have my glowing Luffy. And every time I do the hero series and talk about different heroes and the inspired works, which is going to be another series of things I'm thinking of doing. I'm going to add the other heroes that I have so far. I have like the same style. But guys, thank you. If you do like what I have to say, there's going to be more of it. There's going to be a lot more of it. And we're going to always keep it simple. But remember, you are and your life is and your world is as you are being. That is it. You literally don't need anything else. But I understand that for some people, hearing that and making the awakening or the remembering that are two completely different things. I know a lot of people are seeing this and they're being like, what the fuck is this kid talking about? Hey, that's where they are at their journey. But I promise you, like, I can't, when you experience it over and 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 over again, you see other people experiencing it over and over and over and over and over again, then you teach a couple people and their whole lives transform like overnight and they're like, oh my God, it works. Like you can't, you stop believing, you stop putting the power outside of you. So guys, if you want to hear more, if you want to hear about my personal stuff and my journey, like my examples, please let me know in the comments because I really don't know how interested you guys would be in that, but they are pretty unique, I'd like to think, but everyone has unique experience. If you guys would, I hear a lot of questions about certain things. We're going to be here for a while, okay? I haven't even decided my uploading schedule yet. I think I'm going to do like maybe 2 videos a week with the third on if I'm feeling inspired to. But I do have a full-time job still. Yeah, coaching will be coming soon. I'll let you guys know the details as soon as it's decided. But if you guys like what I have to say, if you like how I'm saying it, if you have any feedback, any questions, leave the comments below. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. Let's rise up together, shift our focus, and become the heroes that we always wanted to be, right? All right. I love you guys so much.